Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. I'm not in a fucking good mood this morning. Fuck this shit. Damn it. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is I Like It Raw, your Monday Night Raw review. I'm here with a bunch of guys that want to talk wrestling and some fucking sweaty guys in underwear. I don't care. Big Ray, here to stay, not to be gay, like Jimmy Tay.
Hey.
What's up, guys and gals? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I Like It Raw. It is, what the hell is today? Today's Monday, Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my brother from, I forgot to do my gimmick. I'm the pun of the people, the man with the plan, Big Ray, to stay to talk some wrestling today. Fucking shit. I'm here with my brother from down under Jimmy T, and everybody else can go fist themselves. I'll be right back.
Well, thank you, Ray, for introducing me. I am Jimmy T, but of course, we're not alone though, Ray, because we got another two fine gentlemen right here. I'll introduce our first guest, MSG. Welcome back to I Like It Raw, man. What's going on?
Not much. Ray's got something up his booty today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he needs to, pop a squat and push one out.
Ooh.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, that's not the only one we got here, because we've also got R to the B to the fucking V. What's crack-a-lacking, Rick? What's going on? Thank you for joining us on I Like It Raw.
I'm going to come with a little more raw, real emotion and some sympathy for Big Ray, one of the OG founders of the HMG, man. I don't know why you're so blue, but hopefully during this episode we can.
That's my kissing sound. So why don't you get your head out of his ass? Big Ray, why don't you tell us what? I mean, this is I Like It Raw. What's got you so upset?
None of your businesses.
Okay. All right then.
Well, this is awkward. This is an awkward start. I mean, Ray, come on, man. Bring us to the dance. What's happening?
What part of none of your business don't you understand?
I'm not talking about what's up with you. I mean, what's happening for I Like It Raw? What are we doing?
I don't know. You're a co-host here?
Oh, fine. Are we going to talk news? Is that what we're doing first?
I don't care.
Well, this is the best start to... Well, you know what? Since you don't care, how about I do it for us? It is the news on I Like It Raw.
Who do you think you are?
I just took over since I didn't think you were going to do it.
What the fuck is going on here? You haven't fucking acknowledged the chat?
Oh, true.
You have no respect for anybody in the goddamn fucking chat?
Goddamn. Just quietly. I'm never the one to introduce the chat, but please introduce the chat, Ray.
Everybody's here.
Well, fuck it. I'll introduce the chat. First of all, I want to thank Cold Blooded for giving us another $4.99 super sticker.
Thank you.
As awkward as that is, we still love you, Cold Blooded. Can you please at least do the Cold Blooded?
No.
No? Damn. Sorry, Cold.
Fuck it. Hold on. I don't fucking have it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, that was cold-blooded. Thank you for the super sticker, brother. We really much appreciate it.
This is what happens when I only get 3 hours of sleep.
Damn, what happened last night, Ray? Now you got to talk.
I got home late from work. Very angry.
Oh, shit. And you got work right after this show, goddammit.
And then he uploaded the Impact Attack and the fucking wreckage, so you're welcome.
Oh.
Very tired.
Thank you.
Very tired.
Well,
so, just so you know, this is what people deal with in my life when I don't sleep enough.
I feel you, man. I get like that when I haven't slept enough.
I get angry. Man. Oh, hey, Rick. Hey, Matt.
Hey, buddy.
That's it.
That's it. So I'll go back to introducing to the chat. Well, anyway, I want to thank also Labrat for being here with us. whatever they're testing on you, let's hope it's not Ray. That's for sure. And because you don't want to get tested by Ray, that's for sure. Also, my hermano from Cali, J12, is in the house saying, "Yo, what up, HMG? Come on, Ray. I can't give Liz the justice that you can. Please introduce Liz for us."
What do you want me to do? Like the Undertaker? Or something?
Elizabeth, yeah.
Yeah,
Rest in
yeah,
peace,
Elizabeth.
I don't feel like doing Macho Man. I have to.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth, looking so fine today.
You sound like a dude in a van. Don't
See, I can't do it justice.
So, oh yeah, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, brother.
I can't give it justice. Ray's the only one that can.
In my eyeballs.
Damn, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Well, we've also got
the master and ruler of the world.
Zayn Vicious in the house.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's in the house saying Ray got a butchering some NOS or some NOSs or NOs. He'll be all right then. Whatever that is. What is he talking about there, Ray?
No, I have no idea. Zayn Vicious is very peculiar. I can't even talk. Peculiar. He's strange.
Peculiar.
Have you had a cup of coffee yet?
I just haven't.
Okay.
If Liz doesn't cheer you up for giving you some squishy hugs, I don't know what will, dude.
I need a squishy hug.
Well, we've also
got
Oh shit! Great.
That's got to cheer you up.
tea and couponer.
no Scott Woodford. That's why
How
I
do you like that?
disappeared.
What was the other side like?
It was scary, dude, actually. It was in a vortex. It's weird. I saw like 100 million Scott Woodfords all around me. I was like, whoa, what is this, man?
That's fucking creepy. Hey, listen, real quick, really important, guys. I just wanted to take a second out to wish Tommy Wonder. I know it was yesterday, but everybody go to Twitter or whatever and search the Tommy Wonder, or it's Tommy Wonder 19 on Twitter _ Tommy Wonder, and wish him a happy birthday. This is him last night.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with the Professor and P. Diddy. They had their, it was very interesting. He kept sending me other pictures and shit. It's weird because one of the pictures, I thought it was like a cave or something. It was his asshole. It's like a close-up picture of his asshole. I don't know why he sent it to me, but happy birthday.
Bats flying out.
It's just fucking weird. You could tell us. I thought it was a rock. It was a little piece of toilet paper that was still stuck in. It's weird. It's
Hey, also shout out to Tommy Wonder.
Why is that rock hairy? What?
Recently inducted into the War Wrestling Hall of Fame here in Ohio, one of the premier independent wrestling promotions in the country. Thanks to all his contributions. Big deal to get into that thing, man.
Absolutely. Happy birthday once again, Tommy.
I don't think people understand.
Oh, wow.
Like Tommy does the old school wrestling podcast, and he's just like silly and everything. They have no idea this guy had like a fucking legendary independent wrestling career, like legit. Like, he wrestled fucking everybody all over the world.
For those accomplishments, I mean, even just inside of War Wrestling out of Lima, Ohio, originally started by Al Snow, passed on to Big Tom Williams up there. An amazing honor, man. What an accomplishment on his behalf.
And he's also a fucking good guy. I like Tom. I'm starting to wake up now. Matt, what are you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. Just hanging out, Connecticut, living it up, not giving a fuck, living life in the fast lane.
All right, cool. All right, so I know Jimmy did it, but he did it out of order, so I feel fucking weird. So let's go.
You do it all over again. And sorry, J12, I forgot you're from Philly.
It's time for this day. Oh no, it's wrong show. The wrestling. All right, so I don't know what anybody talked about last time. Like, I don't want to rehash any stories, so I'm just going to read this through, and if you've heard it before, just tell me to move on. Is that fair?
Sure.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, very cool. It has been confirmed there is a videotape out there with Macho Man and Elizabeth having intercourse.
What?
Oh, no, wait, that's... It's Pornhub. Hold on.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't move on.
It's the wrong thing. The Wrestling Observer confirmed WrestleVotes, saying Jelly Roll is expected to start up something with the WWE at SmackDown this week, and is also he's going to be doing something at SummerSlam. Hopefully, it's cardio. RBV, your opinion on Jelly Roll and whether he will actually die in the ring of a heart attack?
Well, going back last year to the SummerSlam there in Cleveland, he kind of stole that show, created one of those great memorable moments from the event. And yes, a struggle to get up off that knee after he did that 5-knuckle shuffle there on one of the Aussie Posse boys. It was Hotlanta or the Australian, but those guys were involved.
It's like the same guy.
Right. That's why I couldn't tell the difference. They're body doubles of Jimmy over there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess the question that I actually was going to ask Ben about this yesterday. We didn't get to it. And looking at what they potentially could do with him, I guess it's going to be like a corner man, maybe a manager role, but who will he be involved with? We can't have him go in there and actually work. Maybe he can. That'd be good for him. I mean, there's been larger guys step inside the ring.
That's incorrect. I hear that he's been training.
Okay.
He's been training. He has hired, Matt, anyway, from what I understand, he's hired Joey Chestnut to help him train for this match.
Okay.
And he's gained another 60 pounds. I think his blood level has spiked about 10 points. He's all set. He's all set to die in the ring. Your thoughts?
I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll as far as musically,
delicious.
Not because I don't like him as a person or something like that. It's not my style of music. But it's just WWE utilizing a big star outside of their company to try and draw in viewers and have that crossover. So I guess it's from a business standpoint smart, but
it is. It's not like a Cardi B who probably knows nothing about wrestling. He is an actual diehard fan into it. So I mean, he wants to get back and actually be a part of it.
Well, there you go. I guess he is training. Maybe he will die in the ring. Jimmy T.
Yeah,
Speaking of Cardi B, let's hope she's still around for SummerSlam.
Why do you say that?
Because I forgot her ex-boyfriend's name, but it was. And I'm not talking about from Migos. I'm talking about he was an NFL player, I think. And he said that I don't even remember, but apparently her backside smells like mildew.
All right.
According to him.
As per Fightful Select, apparently WWE, check this out. Check this. This is a cool one. As per Fightful Select, WWE could move Survivor Series next year off Thanksgiving weekend to accommodate the November show in Saudi Arabia. So what are we doing? Are we doing fucking Thanksgiving in the land of the free and the home of the brave? All right,
yeah.
That's weird. Your thoughts on that one? Let's go to Matt first, and then that's weird. Why would they move the Survivor Series off of Thanksgiving?
Because they're getting paid a buttload of money by the Saudi Arabians to come out there and do a show. I mean,
I'm so tired of
and they don't want to, I guess, stretch their roster thin by having them fly back and forth. And I mean, they already have a tough time making storylines out of anything. You want them to try and cook up some. I mean, look what they're doing right now with this Evolution pay-per-view. This has been thrown together. At least Saturday night's main event, they've been trying to build it for a month. But Evolution, they just kind of like, all right, we're going to do this thing. And now they're going on a Sunday. So, I mean, good for them to be able to get it together that fast. But, it's just a way where is Survivor Series going to end up now? December? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to do it in October? I thought Survivor Series has been a staple in November.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's like the Royal Rumble in January.
Right. Rick, you're a big fan of women not being able to be free and show their ankles. What do you think of this?
Absolutely. Less said, the better off we are when it comes to the fair sex there. I think what's more interesting when we talk about the maybe moving Survivor Series to Saudi is they already have the Royal Rumble coming up as well for 2026. So that is 2 premium live events damn near back to back because they moved off of the December shows last year and just rolled Survivor Series into the Rumble for those things. And they threw in like a Saturday night's main event there in the middle. So I think doubling down on that big Saudi payday is the most interesting. Will they do that? Will there be some kind of backlash? But whatever practices they're employing right now, They are in the business of printing money. They're in the business of big events and branding. They're out of the pro wrestling business. They're hitting out all their cylinders. They're going for their big paydays.
Interesting. Jimmy, your thoughts on this one, man?
Well, fancy having a Survivor Series in Saudi Arabia, and they call it Survivor Series. Think about it.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. I don't think. Look, man. At the end of the day, like T and Cooper has said in the chat, money talks and shit walks. You know what I mean? So, if they're willing to give up all the cash for a Survivor Series, which is not an appropriate name for a Saudi pay per view, I guess it is what it is. I mean, they do have the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, hey, here's some news here. Yeah, all right. We already know Britt Baker's been leaving fucking AEW
Right.
forever. Nobody cares about that. But his more important news. Apparently, the inspiration from TNA may actually show up on Evolution too. Matt, you're a big fan of two unattractive British women. Your thoughts on? No, they're actually I think they're pretty cute.
And they're Australian, Ray. Come on now.
Whatever, Australian, British, shit. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, we're all the same. Your thoughts on the inspiration maybe being back on WWE TV? Were you a fan of the
inspiration
Yeah.
or the Iconics? I guess
Yeah,
is what they.
shit. Yeah.
Not really. They were always fast forwardable. You know what I mean? Fast forward through their gimmicks and their storylines. For me personally, I never really was a fan of the whole shtick. But I mean, they got to get a bunch of chicks in for Evolution, right?
Right.
I mean, that's essentially what this is they're bringing back women. I mean, AJ Lee is teasing, I got my bit strapped up. Like, she's teasing that she's coming back. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, Rick, you're a big fan of AJ Lee. We know that you've
He collects cutouts, yeah.
yeah, you collect cutouts. You have anyway. So all right, so inspiration. Maybe back on WWE TV. I've always been a fan of Inspiration or whatever the hell, the Iconics. I thought they were a good comedy crew. Didn't necessarily have to be the best workers in the ring. They knew how to work. In my opinion, I don't know. Your thoughts on them maybe showing up again?
Absolutely for it. We need, as MSG said there, we need more bodies, especially for the Battle Royal. You get those big pops, those big moments, with a lot of filler spots. As there's maybe only a handful of women that are going to be serious contenders for that, as they're giving away a championship opportunity at the Clash in Paris. Why not? And as he said, Billie Kay was doing amazing character work at the end of her run before they both left the company. I'm okay with them coming back and hitting some more spots. I think they could do some. They could work some absolute gold intertwining them with Chelsea Green somewhere.
Well, Jimmy, Rick did mention something about a handful, and both women do have altered breasts. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I'm actually not a big fan of theirs.
Nice.
I feel like they're too, I know this is going to sound weird, but overly Australian, if that makes sense, especially Billie Kay. Like, it's a little too, what we call down here, ochre. Do you know what I mean? I think she needs to settle down with that type of act, because really, interesting, very interesting. I don't think you Americans really understand that sort of Australian humor, if you know what I mean. It's more like a cheesy type of thing. But I will say she looks better in blonde, though.
So what you're telling me is I need to make stupid videos for Australian TikTok, and that's how I can get famous?
No, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think, by the way.
By the way, C Fluid says he'd rather see AJ Lee and Nikki Bella's quote unquote dusty ass. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see AJ Lee back, just even if it's for a special, like as a special attraction. I want to see AJ Lee in the corner of CM Punk. I don't know why. I don't know why the hell that's important to me for some fucking reason. But that's how I feel. Hey, Corey Brennan? Nobody does. Fightful Select. He talked about many talents who believe the planned NXT Europe promotion is never actually going to get up and running. Didn't they do this already, guys? And didn't it it was okay in the beginning, but it kind of failed miserably. Rick, I mean, you're the business guy. Are you gonna double dip? You're gonna do the old XFL 2 Part 2 thing here with NXT?
Well, let's go back and look at the original concept. Triple H, obviously, in those early stages, had this plan of the game of risk, global domination. But I mean, that NXT UK was a hard shot to shut down World of Sport,
Right?
And to make sure that there wouldn't be a prominent indie opening up in that area. I think you're looking more now it really is there, JT, you might know this, a prominent indie running there right now? I know, is Rev Pro still as hot as it was? So could we look at more of a buyout somewhere, as we've seen with AAA in the rumors that we heard in Japan? If you're WWE, why, and with the global touring, why do we actually need a brand there? Just up your touring schedule. Just hit it a couple more times to maximize those premium paydays over there with the extended 4 or 5 day event schedules.
Yeah, Jimmy.
I'm glad you mentioned that, actually, Rick, because there is a pretty big promotion in the UK. As a matter of fact, it's called ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling. And believe it or not, they're Scottish, actually, funny enough. But, man, they get some big houses. I'm talking about the highest crowd. They've gotten 10,000 at an event before. And they work closely with WWE. Triple H has turned up there, Kurt Angle in the past. Quite a few big names have turned up. So they're very close with ICW. WWE do work with ICW, but I don't see them trying to buy them out, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, ICW. I don't know if you guys know. They're owned, if I'm correct, they're owned by the legendary Insane Clown Posse.
Nice.
No, not that, not JCW.
Whoop, whoop. Oh.
That's Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Whoop, whoop. What is a juggalo again? Like,
just an idiot.
These are actual people, right? They have them in jail, prisons.
They paint their faces like friggin' ICP, and then they call themselves Juggalos, man.
God, Democrats got it. All right, so Bodyslam.net claims WWE is not currently looking to sign any CMLL talent for the AAA gimmick, but they are, however, apparently keeping an eye on one person. Now, I'm gonna play a game with you guys. Out of all the Mexican guys that are wrestling and whatever other cultures or whatever that are wrestling for CMLL, whatever, who do you think is the one person that WWE is keeping an eye on? Huh? Let's see how much you know you're wrestling. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't watch CMLL. Go ahead, move on. No, I don't.
All right, Rick. Anybody? Rick? Jimmy? Anybody?
Well, obviously the iguana guy, right? I mean, that's
AAA. I said CMLL.
Oh, you're right. CMLL. Well, WWE probably don't have an eye on anyone in CMLL right now.
Are they looking at maybe bringing back Mystico?
Mystico?
Yeah, maybe
Máscara Dorada.
Oh, it was so obvious.
Yeah, hard match.
They should bring in Hechicero, in my opinion, from CMLL. He's a sorcerer. He does like sorceress shit. I'm not lying. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking.
Just the way you described it.
Just the way you described it. Yeah.
It's like Harry Potter wrestling?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Does he fly in on one of those brooms or whatever?
Oh, God, I don't get it. Jimmy's frozen again. It's cheap ass.
I was trying to think of Harry Potter spells, but I can't
I was
think
going
of
to say Harry Potter put a spell on him there.
Do you remember that episode of American Dad? Do you guys watch American Dad?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Do you remember the episode when what's the son's name again?
Steve. Oh,
Steve.
He's in the meth lab.
Yes, when he's in the meth lab. Lava tus manos. That's one of my favorite fucking. Look, Jimmy's still laughing at it. As you see him frozen there. It's one of my favorite fucking scenes. That he's in a meth lab and they're talking in Spanish. He's like, oh, is it a spell? Anyway, you have to just watch it.
What does he do to piss Roger off to set him up for that? Because I remember Roger's throwing that fake owl.
I can't remember, but American Dad is so fucking underrated. It is so hilarious, and Roger is far and above a better character than Brian ever was, in my opinion.
Oh, I think the American Dad brand is better than the Family Guy.
It's so fucking
good. Oh yeah, there's better writing to the show and there's better comedy.
So smart. Well, speaking of bad writing, WWE's long-term plans call for Bron Breakker to finally turn on Seth Rollins, according to, well, I think we've all seen this shit happening. The turn is still way off, allegedly, but the seeds have already been planted. Now, we're going to discuss Monday Night Raw this week, and Matt, how would you go about turning Bron Breakker? We're going to do the old wrestling, the whole same old shit that Seth Rollins accidentally hits Bron Breakker with a drop kick or something like that, or I don't know, that maybe you'll see Seth Rollins talking shit about Bron Breakker to Paul Heyman behind his back, and Bron Breakker's kind of like, in the background listening, like the same old boring. How would you do something a little more interesting with old Bron Breakker?
That's a deep question that I have to really analyze to see what could be done with Bron Breakker. I think the first part of your question, I think that you could do a multitude of different things. You could even do the jealous underling who wants to come up and become the mob boss himself. So like he could be the one that after Seth Rollins, because everyone kind of thinks that Seth's going to cash in at Saturday night's main event.
Right.
So if he does, and he becomes the champ, then you set the seeds for Bron wants to be the champ as well, and eventually Bron's going to have to challenge him for it. Or, as you pointed out, we could do the cheesy stuff where Seth accidentally kicks him, and then all of a sudden Braun Breaker's pissed. Or when they do finally turn him heel, I think the crowd really likes Braun Breaker, so I think that they can really capitalize on a lot of merchandising, action figures. They could put him in specific commercials to market things as well, because he's got a good look, and he comes from a family of talkers. So,
Rick? Why wouldn't you already on WWEshop.com have 12-inch long stuffed Dobermans? Braun Breaker Dobermans with little spike collars. That you can.
I like the collar thing there. Just any kind of dog theme, anything that's going to kind of make that barking noise. You go look at some of the things the Cleveland Browns do for the dog pound.
Right.
That generates those things, those bark sticks that you can slap together. I've actually said something kind of interesting there. And he comes from a great line of talkers. I think it's pretty obvious, and we're going to talk about Raw, obviously, here, but he still has a way to go in his mic work, his delivery being a little bit on point. I think the bigger question here that's why we're all kind of hanging on with Rollins' stable, this little faction they got here, is the eventual, no pun intended here, breakout of Braun Breaker. When is this going to happen? Are they going to pull the trigger sooner in a panic mode? I still think there's a long game. I think you see Seth cash in later this year. I don't think it's coming up Saturday. I think they're setting up a night 2 main event. The story's already in place of Seth Rollins defending against CM Punk. I think you see that unravel. And then the big moment on that next night on Raw is Braun Breaker's kind of like, you know what? He's, again, no pun intended, at his breaking point. I was there. I was the reason you were able to cash in successfully. I was the reason you were able to get the case, cash in, hold that title, and you failed at WrestleMania. I've had enough of this. You're out, Seth. Hamin and I are going on our own run. Then you can kind of go into the program with him and Seth into the late spring, and then he can start focusing maybe on Punk himself towards SummerSlam next year.
I'm going to continue talking about this really quickly because that's interesting. So, I don't know if Jimmy's coming back. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
He's 14 hours into the future.
Thank God he's back. I was worried because there's volcanoes going off and shit.
No, I don't know what happened. My internet's cut out. I'm using my hotspot now, so I'm using my phone internet. That's fucking weird, bro.
You're a hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but all right. So I'll ask Jimmy this. Jimmy, we're talking about the whole Braun Breaker going to finally be turning eventually on Seth Rollins. And I was asking the boys, hey, would you do something different instead of the same old wrestling trope? And Rick Vickery mentioned something about maybe perhaps Paul Heyman siding, right? Siding or being like betraying Seth Rollins. Because, if you look at it, if you look at Paul Heyman, right? What does Paul Heyman always do? He always manages the next big thing.
He's an opportunist.
It's always the next big thing. He started with Brock Lesnar, and then he continued on with, whoever was the next big thing, even fucking Ryback, I guess. But what would you do, man? What would you do with Braun Breaker? How are you going to turn him? Do you think Paul leaves, Seth's side, and how does this work out?
Well, first of all, Seth doesn't need Heyman. Let's be real, because he doesn't.
No.
Bron actually doesn't need Heyman either. I think if anyone needs Heyman for me, is actually Bronson Reed.
Your cousin.
Not exactly my cousin, but fellow countryman, sure.
Yeah, can we start calling you Jimmy Tsunami?
Yes.
Why not? I'll tsunami all your asses. But anyway, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But anyway, in saying that, because really, I think Bron is good enough to go on his own. He doesn't need this group, man, personally. He can talk. Does he need Heyman to sort of back him up?
Yeah,
I don't know, Rick.
I must be listening to some different promos than you guys are, because he is fumbling through some of these.
He fumbled tonight, though, last night.
I don't even get through, the lead.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree. I was going to reserve my judgment about this conversation when we got to the promo, but I mean, the fact remains, I felt like his promo was actually raw and emotional. It felt real. I would rather someone pretend to forget their lines and then have to push through it, because then they're actually staying within character. They're not just reciting lines. So like I disagree. I thought his promo last night was pretty good.
And
He did stuff up, though, by the way.
breaking news: we have a new nickname for Jimmy T. It's Jimmy Salami. I like that one.
That's not new. He always calls me Jimmy Salami.
I never seen it, but I'm gonna side with Matt on this one. I enjoyed Bron Breaker's promo this week. It did feel real to me, more real than everybody else's "I will be triumphant" fucking bullshit scripted promo. Anyway, it's just my opinion. Everybody has their
He
own
also
taste.
has one of those like Mike Tyson voices where the voice doesn't match the frame.
It doesn't matter.
It's a
though.
Steiner voice. Come on, Rick. You know, they got that high sort of, pitch voice type of thing.
But
All the Steiners did.
But I asked you that question specifically because, and I'm glad Rick brought it up, because the news is that Paul Heyman may in fact be sticking with Bron Breakker. So we'll see how that works out. And Fightful Select, you pay for that, by the way, folks, notes that WWE is already discussing turning Blake Monroe heel. If you don't know who Blake Monroe is, nobody does.
That's why you got to watch Next Level.
That's right. That's the young lady that came from AEW. She was Mariah May, and I don't like her as a baby face. So I'm kind of on board with that. Matt, I know you're a huge Mariah May fan. Your thoughts?
I mean, she does play a better heel. I don't watch NXT on a regular basis, but I mean, just from her time on AEW, I thought her feud with Toni Storm, where it was like ended in like a bloody mess, was hot, and it was very well done in regards to like them threading out the story week after week.
Yeah.
They took it nice and slow. And then they got really fast. It was really good.
You wackos.
and then they finished when she exploded all over. When they exploded all over each other with blood.
Rick, my question to you is Mariah May in fact just another Toni Storm? Is she going to be WWE's version? Do you ever see Toni Storm maybe coming back to WWE with that character?
I don't think they will with the character. I think they would kind of stay away from play, towards the same thing that we saw with the Hardys. Even though it was working so much, they kind of refused to roll with it because it isn't theirs. But on Blake Monroe, of course she should be a heel, because when we look at that character, it's the same issue they have with Titty Time, with Tiffany Stratton. They are a conniving, self-centered, just flat out Valley Girl bitch. That's why in the movies we root for them to get hit by the bus. There's nothing likable. Nothing likable about those characters. Yes, they should be heels, and I don't understand for either one of those characters why they expect people to cheer them other than they're hot commodities. And pun intended there. Yeah.
Jimmy, you're a fan of their commodities. What do you think?
I sure am. Well, as far as first of all, I can't stand Mariah May's name because I think of a trans person. Nothing against trans people.
Whoa!
If your name is what's her name, Blake, whatever the fuck your name is. I mean,
Blake Monroe.
Yeah, it's Blake Monroe.
LGBTQ plus community.
No. Look, hear me out. If you call a girl Blake and you never met this person yet, if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, man, I want to introduce my friend. Its name is Blake," what are you going to think?
Well, it would all be in the context, because you could say, "I want you to meet my friend Blake," or "I want you to meet this woman Blake."
My friend Blake.
Just my friend Blake. Blonde, I think of like Blake Lively, and
just my friend Blake.
And the other Monroe is Marilyn Monroe.
I could think that it's either a guy or a girl, but being trans is not the first thing that comes to my mind.
I mean, are you going to think it's a girl, though, for real?
It could be. There's girls with guys' names all the time here in the United States.
I get that, but I mean, Blake?
Yeah, I mean,
Elizabeth's calling out Jimmy for insulting.
I'm sorry, Liz, but come on,
is that
man.
a pocket?
Blake. If someone told me that I'm going to introduce you to my friend Blake, I'm going to think automatically it's a bloke.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, hey, you want to meet my friend Sam?
Kelly.
I'm going to think it's a bloke first, man. But yeah, I know I've known chicks named Sam too, but that's short for, obviously for like Samantha, for example, or something like that.
That's fair enough. Well, Blake is short. I don't know. No,
for what? Exactly.
Well, guess what? Here's the deal.
Jimmy's frozen again.
Jimmy's frozen again. See, this is the internet.
He got canceled. He got canceled.
Canceled. Good. Get him out of here. For what it's worth, in a social media exchange with a follower. Oh God, These fucking people. Michelle McCool indicated that WWE hasn't called her about appearing at Evolution 2, thank God, this weekend. Listen, am I the only... I fucking love The Undertaker. And I actually love him, if it makes any sense, a little more now that he's retired and we just kind of got, not the Taker, but we kind of got, who he really is. I like him. I'm going to ask a question. It's going to sound kind of messed up, but why is his Michelle McCool so unlikable? Is it just me?
It's a hard question. Like, Michelle McCool, in my opinion, was never the hotter of her and Layla, right? Layla was her partner.
Layla's
Cool.
so fun.
Like, cool. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I feel like she was like the second fiddle to Layla. And even though Michelle McCool did have somewhat of a productive career inside the ring, she was from a bygone era of where women's wrestling was more centered on how the women looked versus how they performed in the ring. So I don't know. It's hard. I mean, she was decent on the mic, but when you marry the Undertaker, I mean, that's like marrying the boss's son or the boss's daughter. And the Undertaker had such a close relationship with Vince McMahon. So,
True.
He got her on the show. He probably got her in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know why that rubbed me the wrong way, Rick. Try to say that 3 times fast. Like seeing her inducted into Hall of Fame, there are a plethora of women that should have gone in before her. I don't think she deserves it. She hasn't earned it. I never saw her as a legend. Suck at Michelle McCool. I mean, I'm sure she was there during the Evolution or whatever the hell. And credit to those women that only got 4 minutes to put over their matches in very limited time, except to show their boobs. But there's just something about Michelle McCool that I'm kind of glad that but she probably will show up, right? She'll show up, right, Rick?
I would say, who was even asking this? Is this something she just took on herself to put out there? But I think the drawback with Michelle McCool, and Emma, she touched on it a little bit there, is she did come. I don't think it was overly sexualized. It was a weird transition period there for that women's division. There wasn't a whole lot of talent, maybe even in the looks and in the wrestling ability. But you look at her resume on paper, and obviously it's just a creative standpoint. It was given to her. She was in those spots. She had a relationship with The Undertaker. Pretty impressive. But I think what really hangs over on that is, a lot of people, her character connected with people. We were just talking about that. She wasn't very likable as a character. So people who relate to that, maybe she did too good of a job with it. But then she gets into the Hall with maybe a not so memorable career. And it's because she's Undertaker's wife. Then she replaces Mickie James on this LFG show. Yep, yeah. Suddenly out of nowhere, people really take to Mickie James. That they like her. Now we got this replacement. And you got the tie-in where Michelle McCool's probably most notable accomplishment in wrestling was calling Mickie James a pig. And now she's getting some strings pulled. I think maybe that's where the layover is, where people just aren't that big of fans of her.
I've said that 1,000 times. I met Mickie James on 2 different occasions, and she is like the most beautiful pig, and not beautiful not only aesthetically, because she is aesthetically like just so pretty, and she has just one of the most engaging smiles in the world.
Mickie James.
Oh my God, she's so nice too.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also some illicit photos out there if you really want to see what Mickie James looks like.
I don't fucking believe. Send those to me.
I'll find them for you if you really want them.
Whatever.
Muscle quits.
All right, Jimmy, your thoughts? Michelle McCool, will she have a match at Evolution 2, and do you care?
I DGF straight up.
Is that it was some slang that kids are saying?
You know what that means? Everyone knows what that means.
Show.
I don't care.
I don't. Okay, I don't give a fuck.
I don't want to see her in a match. Really, she's done. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, somebody who we all care about, Tamina Snuka, isn't listed on WWE's internal roster. Oh, she is. I'm sorry, rarely seen. Wait. She isn't listed, right? But Fightful, you may have heard of them. Select, you pay for this again. Says she's technically still under contract.
Of course she is. They're never gonna release her, dude. Her dad killed somebody. Come on, she's gonna be part of that family, part of WWE for life.
All right, I got some good news here. Zack Sabre Jr. You may have heard of this guy. So Zack Sabre Jr.'s IWGP World Title win had been planned for the last month's Tanahashi Jam event. And what the hell? Who wrote this? According to
it's in Japanese.
they wanted to have a big moment TV spot. Zack Sabre Jr. is the IWGP champion.
He was. Not now. I think Goto is at the moment.
Isn't he wrestling in fucking AEW?
No,
That's Ospreay.
that's Ospreay.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god! I thought it was the same guy.
They're both British, but
Who says bruv?
I heard he was
Ospreay.
El Americano.
Oh, wow.
That's
I heard he's German now.
What?
Yeah,
Zack Sabre
Al
Jr. 's
Deutschland.
Zack Sabre Jr. is like a little bit taller Link here, and he focuses more on like submission moves, whereas Will Ospreay is more of a high flyer. But after putting on some muscle, he definitely has toned down his high flying moves as well.
Okay.
Osprey?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that, but I guess to a little extent. But he's still flying around.
I mean, he's
like a
still
damn
flying
Osprey.
around, but he's not like as crazy as he was like 10, 15 years ago.
The last story of the day before we jump into Raw. This has been something that they discussed a couple weeks ago regarding Pat McAfee, and he's been absent from Monday Night Raw because of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Now, he went off about how tired he is. Now, I'm gonna back Pat McAfee up on this one. Pat McAfee isn't your regular day-to-day Monday Night Raw, announcer. I mean, the guy runs a business. He's got one of the biggest shows in the world. He's got his hand in a bunch of things. Do you think it's fair for wrestling fans? I'm not saying that they are. I'll go with Rick and then Matt and then Jimmy. Do you think it's fair for anyone to say, who does this guy think he is? I mean, has Pat McAfee? Leave it like this. My question is Pat McAfee worth keeping him on? Even though he may take time off here and there.
Any wrestling fans taking shots at Pat McAfee's are just flat out nerds that need to keep their mouth shut at this point. His brand has made such an impact for WWE, and he is a magnificent brand around the world. He has got so much on his plate. In this break right now, this is to give him a breather, a little bit of an off season before he heads into a huge schedule, picking up College Game Day, doing the play-by-play from the sidelines, things like that, probably working in some WWE stuff. And I think ultimately what we need to remember, out of all the big things that Pat McAfee is doing, I still believe that pro wrestling is what he truly loves to be a part of. He loves giving back to that community. He loves the company. He loves help spreading their brand to crossover platforms. He is worth it in every sense, every way that you want to measure it. He has paid them back dividends. So big time, Pat. Hope he gets back, man. I miss him in his excitement that he brings to the show.
You agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, I agree with that for the most part. I mean, Pat McAfee's got a busy schedule. I mean, do I think that maybe they could work something else out to where he does one a month and just does pay-per-views? I think that might be a better schedule for him.
That works. I don't mind that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's fine.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean, and he's got a huge show that's being produced and simulcast on multiple different outlets. He's invested into his own brand. So like it makes sense, especially like as Rick put it, like he's not on the road, 4 to 5 days a week. A lot of times he's just back in Indiana doing his show with his buddies. So like for him to like get on a plane every Monday night and go somewhere, I'm sure is exhausting, and it does make the show, the preceding show is less exciting because like he might not be there the next day, so there might not even be a show.
What do you think, Jimmy?
First of all, I'm a huge fan of Pat McAfee's, but I'm going to say this: harden the fuck up, Pat. All right, once a week, once a fucking week.
You're gonna get canceled again.
All right?
You've already been canceled once.
Fuck this. Once a week. Once a week.
So mad.
All right. All he
Jimmy
has to do is a
Salami
job.
dropping tsunamis on everybody today.
All he has to do is turn up once a friggin' week, maybe friggin' twice a week, including PLEs, right? Here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But all he has to do is one thing, man. Once
He doesn't
a week,
need to.
every
He
Mondays.
doesn't need it. He doesn't need to.
Clearly, he doesn't need it. That's why he's not showing up. And
Jimmy,
this is why
Jimmy, you realize
Right.
him having one guest, Michael Cole showing up on a Tuesday or a Wednesday on the Pat McAfee show, or even a mention or any other guest reaches more potential fans
I
on a Pat
agree.
McAfee show
Absolutely.
than him sitting behind a commentator desk.
100%.
Show up
I
one time a
truly
week.
believe
This
that.
guy is putting in countless hours every day representing his brand for different businesses.
No, I agree. And that's true. And I am a fan of his, believe it or not. But when you got to turn up just once a week for WWE, right? While you do your show every day pretty much, you do your college football as well practically all the time, you can't show up once a week to do your job that you signed up for, mind you.
But
I'm just saying, man.
I think there's a lot of planning that goes into doing that one. So when
you're busy, yeah.
Like what I'm saying is that if you're, I get what you're saying, Jimmy, and yes, I would love to have Pat McAfee on every single week.
Matt
but
McAfee.
I think that he has to fly into that town and then he has to prep for the show. It's not just just show up and just call the wrestling show. It's not like
It's all the prepping and shit. I know.
right. So that's why I get the exhaustion thing. I mean,
Especially when he's doing the other stuff.
like look at me and Matt. I'll say look at Matt more. Matt has a full-time job, and then Matt is not only on tons like a bunch of podcasts, but he produces podcasts. Isn't it exhausting, Matt? I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
You do a little more than me, I think.
But guess what? But guess what? He still shows up though and does it. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference though. Whereas Pat is not. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Why did you sign up for it then?
WWE doesn't, or Pat doesn't need WWE. WWE
He doesn't.
WWE needs Pat more than he needs them.
So how about this? Look. Let's end up on a positive note. I'm going to show you a video of Ric Flair on a treadmill right now on an elliptical. How's that make you feel, guys? Are you happy? Does that make you feel happy? Let's just hear what he says. Let's see if is there any sound to it. Here he goes. He goes, Ric Flair.
Yeah, our guy.
Let's see what he says. You got anything to say there, Ricky? You got to go.
Nothing hold me down, baby. Nothing.
Nothing hold me down. I'll never retire. It says back in business. A little blood can't. What is a little blood can't hold me back? What does that mean? I've been bleeding my whole life. Oof.
Apparently, he's been bleeding from his rectum and smelling up restaurants.
Why is Stephanie Vaquer trending on? That's
because I've watched her shoes, a pair of sneakers.
Oh, that's why. Oh my lord.
That knee looks fine. Where the hell has she been?
Oh Christ.
True.
Whoa.
Good point.
Damn.
That is one really attractive young lady. Am I wrong, folks? I mean, even the ladies in the chat, like, come on, let's be real. You would, right? Anyway, that's it. Any other news topics you gentlemen would like to talk about? We're about to jump into Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw.
Ew. All right, fine. That was gross. I don't know why it sounded.
You want me to take my pants off?
All right, Monday Night Raw, folks. Let's go. All right, so this is the go home show. We have, it's weird because it's like kind of two go home shows. We have the Saturday Night's Main Event go home show, and then we have Women's Evolution. That's now WWE's Evolution 2 go home. And we are from Georgia, right?
No,
Providence,
Rhode Island. Yeah, same
Island,
thing.
right,
So they're right next to each other. Yeah, man. So we kick it off, man. Let me see what we got here. We got Bron Breakker. Seth Rollins makes his entrance. So they do the whole gimmick where everybody's in there and talking. Wait, what did they kick the show off with?
I was going to say, his take on this, the production, man. That drone coming in was a pretty badass shot.
You like that?
Yeah, I love that, actually.
It was pretty cool.
Seth Rollins makes his entrance, and this is where we're talking about the whole Bron Breakker promo thing. We got Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, of course, the WWE Hall of Famer. My name is Paul Heyman. Bron Breakker grabs a microphone first, and he's like, I hate Sami Zayn. I hate your fucking beard. I hate the way you smell. I hate the way you look. I hate that you can't wrestle. You like the guy next door. He just buries Sami Zayn.
Never played sports.
Never played sports, even though neither did he. Did Seth Rollins, I think. I'm not sure. But so he cuts his promo. We'll discuss that. And then Seth Rollins is kind of looking at him like, what is this guy doing? He's talking to Paul Heyman, but then Paul Heyman's like, well, you can see, I kind of like what he's doing. But anyway, long story short, they passed the mic to Jimmy's uncle, Bronson Reed, And Jimmy's uncle cuts a promo. He's like, I'm gonna tsunami. So Jimmy's uncle, the entire time, buries Seth Rollins. He's like, I fucking beat up my boss. I tsunami'd him so bad that he fucking made me join it because he's afraid of me. I mean, it was like, I'm like, what kind of fucking promo? Then finally,
he can't cut a promo for shit. Let's be real.
He's amazing. Finally, Seth Rollins comes in and he's like, I want you guys to beat up the people that have been annoying me. So that was the opening segment of Monday Night Raw, pretty much, right? I mean, I don't think I missed anything there. We're gonna get some pretty high level matches tonight, and I'm gonna start off by saying this. Usually, I give a grade at the end of the show. I'm gonna give a grade at the beginning of the show. I thoroughly enjoyed Monday Night Raw this week. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I didn't see anything wrong with it at all, but Jimmy's gonna tell me otherwise. Jimmy, your thoughts on the pro? Stop it! Don't be honest. Your thoughts on this promo? You're saying Bronson Reed sucks on the mic?
You know what? Maybe it's even the Australian accent. It just doesn't go with him trying to be serious, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna fucking be honest, man. It is what it is. As big as he is and as big as he looks, he kind of sounds like a weirdo the way he sounds, dude. I don't know. That's just me, right? It just irks me. Like, at least with Rhea Ripley and Grayson Waller, they don't cringe me as much as when he talks for some reason. But as far as the Raw goes, it wasn't really about the matches for me on this show.
Reed. We're talking about Bronson Reed.
Oh, no,
I thought
because
we were talking
he was
about Braun Breaker, so I got confused for a second.
Oh, no shit. You confused me there for a second, Matt, too. I'm like, what the hell?
Threw your curveball there.
But, yeah. No, I was talking about Bronson Reed. And but as far as the show goes, I felt like this was a good go-home show.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really about the matches. It was just about the builds to the matches coming for this Saturday night, for Saturday night's main event and the women's evolution, whatever you want to call it, even though I felt like there was hardly any build to it. But whatever it is, other than that, I thought it was a fun show, though, overall. And Bronson, he needs to do more when it comes to his mic work. And Bron, I think he's fine. He's good enough on the mic, even though he still chokes here and there. I just don't like the barking. Everyone's a dog. I'm sick of it.
All right. You don't like dogs. I got it. Matt, anything that stuck out to you during this promo? They did mention the OTC during this.
Down with OTC. Yeah, you know me.
Reigns. And, I mean, Seth Rollins did say he's going to kick Penta's ass as well. They're trying to eliminate all the outside issues, Did he even mention LA Knight? Can't remember.
No.
Your thoughts on this opening segment?
I liked it for the most part. Like I said earlier, I thought Braun Breaker cut a pretty good promo. I enjoyed it. It felt real. Bronson Reed, I'm not the biggest fan of, but, he definitely is a very large figure. I liked that they, at least in this segment, they set up what they were going to do for the show.
Right.
Each individual was like, I'm going to beat this person up, or I don't like Sami Zayn, or etc. So, and then as we continue to talk about this show, they thread it throughout the show. So overall, along with, the Becky Lynch promo, the Kairi Sane match, the packages, backstage stuff, El Grande Americano, I thought this was a decent show. I'd give this like a B.
Right? Like a solid B, right? I was going to say that too. But Rick, I mentioned to Matt that they didn't mention LA Knight during this promo. You think they did that on purpose to make you forget about LA Knight and maybe a potential run-in towards the end of the show?
I like that for the element of the surprise there. They have a lot going on, and I think you guys, where you keep slicing up the weekend, this is about a big, hot Lano weekend, and that's what the WWE is about right now, is block booking these mega events in here to become these big spectacles for these selling points for these cities. This big spectacle for the cities.
I thought you said MAGA of something like what?
Yeah.
Mega.
Maybe they are. Maybe hey, some people would have you believe that. PW Hustle. But that's just
and Jimmy's gone.
And
again.
Jimmy's gone again.
Jimmy's out of here.
We mentioned MAGA, and Jimmy gets eliminated. What is going on?
Jimmy has got, but hey, I did like what I did like in this open. It's not just about Seth. If we are looking towards, their messages, the plan for the future. If Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are going to get better, they need the opportunity to have that platform, to have that spotlight, to even just a few minutes to be able to talk in front of that live crowd. I still think there is a long way to go there. And it let them focus in as a group. They had 3 targets that evening. They each had something different to take care of that actually helped the collective. So Bron was focused on Sami. You had Bronson on Jey Uso. And of course, the big match that they had advertised is Seth versus Penta. And remember, also we had Hamin cutting the promo there in Spanish and all of that. So they're focused in on that. And Ray, I like how you mentioned. So we push LA Knight out of the mind a little bit to create that bigger pop, which the WWE is about those big pop moments. And the megastar, not the megastar, the megastar LA Knight can generate that for you.
Big Ray, did you like the line from Paul Heyman that the Empire was striking back against its enemies?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I mean, damn, I should have said I'm not a fan of Star Trek. That would have been funny. It was all right. His Spanish is okay, I guess. There were certain things that he said during the night. Like I know I'm jumping ahead, but he called Penta un hijo de gran puta, and it's like, do you know what that is? It's like that's a hooker's son. That's horrible. That's so bad.
A hooker's son?
Una puta it's a hooker. It's a whore. He called him a son of a whore. It's just terrible, the shit he was saying.
Okay.
I can't believe they let that go on WWE TV, but it is what it is. I'm down with it. And Jimmy, your thoughts? Oh, he's gone. All right, so all right.
Brilliant insight once again from Jimmy T.
All in all, I thought it was a pretty good opening segment, and I hate talking. But hey, we go backstage. We see the Judgment Day. They're shining up all their belts and stuff like that. Everybody's totally happy. We kind of pan over to the right, and they got this whole fucking Liv Morgan thing, like she's dead with the candles, like they do, like with most of my abuela would have in her house and stuff. And Rodriguez walks in, and for some reason, I don't know what is going on with me. I'm starting to like Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know what it is. Like I'm starting to become like she's endearing to me now. And all right, I'm gonna say this, and it's not in the creepy way. I want to hug her because I know she's been through some shit, like with the fucking skin thing, and she really tries hard. I see her getting into better physical shape little by little. We're seeing her every week. I think I don't know, dude. I'm starting to fucking like Raquel Rodriguez, and I love when she came in, and she's like, she's not dead. I found that to be a very, very light and humorous moment. And then, I'll just skip all the other bullshit. We know that she's not necessarily on board with Raquel Rodriguez being a tag team partner, but she really has Roxanne, same shit. She really has thank you. She really has no choice, but they all get off the stage, and then Dominic is left there, and he's like, oh shit, that's so cute. You guys got her a cake. And the boys are like, what are you talking about? I didn't get her a cake. Did you get it? Nobody got it. And they leave, and you get AJ Styles. And I laughed. I don't know what it was, with AJ just peeking in the corner and doing the whole fucking, I'm looking at you. I see you, and that was funny. And then of course the Dominic Mysterio. I got a note. Such an old school heel thing that just still works. Dominic Mysterio is the best wrestler, the best sports entertainer in the business, I think, today. He's so good. Matt, you have a big smile on your face. It seemed like you really enjoyed a lot of aspects of this. Maybe I'm reading into it, but your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I enjoyed this whole segment. I enjoyed the unison between JD McFunko Head and Finn Balor. Oh, get that phone call.
Is that Jimmy T? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Calling to try and get through. I enjoyed the segment. I thought that was good. You were saying you're becoming a fan of Raquel. I'm starting to become a fan of Roxanne. I don't know.
Oh, I think she's great.
I think she's got like good quips when she gets to speak.
Yeah.
She's very easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the storyline of her potentially being the, moment, or I guess the individual that's going to end up turning heel, because we know she's going to turn heel at some point, where especially when we get back Liv Morgan, right? Is that who it was? Who's injured?
Yes.
Yeah. So especially when we get back Liv Morgan, so I think she's going to end up being the one that turns heel on them, or whatever it is, turns babyface, or whatever side of whatever this group is. I don't know. Judgment Day is supposed to be heel, and it really feels like Dominic is the only one, which comes back to your point. You think he's the best in the business, but I don't know if he's the best in the business, but he's definitely really good.
He's really good. Rick, your thoughts?
For Raquel, I think the connection, Big Ray, is we're starting to see some character, some personality from her. So you're getting that connection. She's become endearing. And she's kind of that middle of the road. We don't know which kind of way she's going. Obviously, she enjoys being that champion. She wants success, but she does care about her friend, Liv. And wants that the best for her and still kind of undecided amongst this group. I know talking a bit about this regularly, but he doesn't necessarily with some of the direction with the Judgment Day, but I'm one of those people that it's so cheesy that it works. That it's shit-eating grin that Finn Balor's always popping up, where it's just over the top. It's too much. It kind of works for me. As a group, like Finn and JD, I'm not really sure where they go here. Obviously, there's bigger things in store. Dominic, he is that kind of that slime ball that needs the allies, needs people as a crutch. So maybe they keep the group together just for him on the Roxanne front. And I did enjoy it. It was just that when you see AJ pop up there, it's just one of those cheesy ass things you laugh at. It draws you in. You're intrigued by it. That's what you're going to get with these guys. The only thing that I kind of wonder about Roxanne and right, you've been following her a lot longer, covering the NXT there. She seems to me, when we're talking about those endearing types, she's the one to me that I think the fans would really rally behind as a babyface.
I don't like her as a babyface.
Okay, I was good. So that's where she kind of hits to me. And Liv is so good as that person you just want to hate. I don't want to see them miscast those two once we eventually get Liv back and them butting heads and everything kind of unraveling there.
Yeah, I feel like she's playing the long game, that being Roxanne Perez. Like, that she's eventually, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it, like, what do you call when she turns? Because if she's conniving to try and infiltrate the Judgment Day, is she doing so in a way to break it up? Or is she doing so in a way for personal reasons? So, like, I go back and forth on how they would actually turn her.
Or is there a bigger plan with her and Finn together versus Liv and Dom or something like that?
That might happen. Elizabeth says she looks like a baby face, but she's a much better heel. I agree with you, Liz. Liz has been following her with us at the next level since the beginning.
I will say, I know she's got the match coming up. I'm sure we're just going to jump right in, but I love watching her in the ring. She can work with any size, any style, and make it look good.
Yeah. So let's talk about this match. I'm not going to break the whole match down, but we got Roxanne Perez versus Kairi Sane. Now I was listening to the wreckage with Jimmy and the vet. Speaking of the vet, guys, head over to twitch.tv. Hopefully vet got that whole situation with the next door house being on fire.
Whoa.
What?
You have to listen. You have to listen to the next level. I mean, I'm sorry, the wreckage, if you want to know what the hell I'm talking about. But Vet couldn't do the show on Sunday. They did it on Monday because it was a big fire, and the Vet was a hero. Apparently, he saved babies and puppies and shit. It was great. But he made a little mistake, and he had mentioned that he made the mistake because he was rushing. He was rushing to do too much too quickly. With that being said, I love this match because these girls took their time with everything. There are certain matches that you watch where the guys and girls are rolling up and trying to get their spots and shit like that. And I was watching this match, and they were getting in multiple pin attempts and moves and all this shit. But I really enjoyed how much time they took with each other. You could tell they were communicating with each other in the ring because it wasn't a perfect match, but I thought it was a solid, good match between these two young ladies who are both elite. I'm telling you right now, I think Kairi Sane is in that elite group of female in-ring wrestlers, along with Roxanne Perez, who's the prodigy for a reason. But the match... That was me on the toilet this morning. But yeah, man, dude, I like this. We have Perez. Listen, I was shocked because I thought, Perez is going to go over. I thought they're going to cheat. But no, she doesn't. We have Kairi Sane, who wins with the old school backslide pin. Who goes over with that? Hardly and nobody. You haven't seen that in quite some time.
AEW, yeah, they do it all the time.
Oh, well, I don't watch that garbage. But post match, we have the Judgment Day. The women, they come in, they start beating down on her, and then we have Asuka who makes this save, and you get the crowd going home happy with it. I'll go with Rick and then Matt. Rick, your thoughts on this match? Anything that stuck out to you during this match? The same questions I ask every match. Your thoughts?
The match itself, Ray, I think it did find a nice groove that you're pointing to in the middle. It looked like at first they were going through that floor routine. There were a couple spots where they were waiting on it. I know, like the head scissor takedown. Even they sold it on commentary like she didn't get all of it because Roxanne went for that hard roll. But it looked like in that middle they found a real nice groove with each other, where everything was flowing. It looked pretty natural, like a fight. It fell apart again when Asuka hit there, especially on that spot where she was trying to throw Raquel over that top rope, and they were just a little too far away for it to look kind of smooth for that spot out to the floor. I did not like this finish at all. I think when you're trying to establish a throw-together tag team that's representing those championships, you can't have them eating pins right now. And then after that, you have something, nothing against Kairi Sane. I think she's a great hand. There's absolutely a long-term spot for her in this women's division. I don't see like a great deal of success for her, but right where she's at now, fans love her. But you have a 5'4" little anime girl making someone like Perez and Raquel, your supposed new champs, look that bad on her own before the beatdown. Now I understand. When immediately we're watching it, I was like, why not a DQ finish? Well, we have one of those coming up later. Let's get creative. Maybe a double count out. The ref just throws it out. Maybe Asuka with interacts earlier. But let's get a no contest here instead of putting our champs down. I think, obviously where we're going here is we've got the fourth team represent for Evolution in the tag team fatal 4-way.
Your thoughts, Jim? I like what Rick said. Matt, tell me why Rick is absolutely wrong.
No, I can't tell you that. I mean, the match was a good match. I was going to say something similar, that I didn't think it was necessary for Perez to take the loss, right? Because she's kind of been on a little bit of a losing streak in her own singles action matches, so it definitely doesn't make her look like a strong enough partner for Raquel. But that being said, I did like the fact that there was I think Perez was targeting Kairi Sane's arm during the match. So because I guess she's got a spinning back fist or something like that. So I did like that. And as you mentioned, they were taking it slower. So they were concentrating on, going back and forth, trying to one up each other. So all in all, I thought this was a decent match.
All the Asian girls got that spinning backhand power slap going, man. Asuka was dropping those like crazy post-match.
Yeah. And then the post-match stuff, with the reunited Kabuki Warriors. So, I mean, that's going to be great content for, Vince Russo's, and Stevie Richards and Ben Hamin on the Raw SmackDown reviews. Go check it out.
We are in control now. Exactly. We get a recap of Karrion Kross assaulting Sami Zayn, and then we have Sami Zayn backstage. Jimmy, it's okay, Jimmy. You know what? Look, things are meant to happen. Let me just stop this show really quickly. Jimmy, don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. There's a reason why these guys jumped in. And who knew your internet would be absolute shit today? It's not your fault. Don't worry about it.
I know, man. It's really bad. So sorry to everyone, but it is what it is. It's really pissing me off, and it's probably that's why I am the way I am on the show tonight, man, or today.
Well, listen, don't worry about it.
Annoyed now.
Just real quick.
The internet's making you a self-loathing Australian bigot, racist, sexist, homophobe.
I wasn't being racist. Wow. Nah. Dude, I wasn't being racist. Though. Come on.
Are you wearing a Mark Echo hat?
Yes.
Holy shit, I haven't seen one of those in years.
He's wearing the typical New York stuff there. He's got the Yankees hoodie on, too.
Here we go again.
He ain't from Australia. This motherfucker lives
I love it because a lot of Americans point this out to me a lot, right? But guess what? People here in Australia dress the same fucking...
Don't you guys,
yeah, they do.
Don't you wear leather vests with the hat?
Oh yeah, we got big knives as well in our back, right?
The alligator teeth in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Crocodile. You guys wear Crocs.
Pop of the day for Big Ray.
Absolutely.
Jimmy, we had very thoroughly discussed the Kairi Sane match. Anything you like in this match? Kairi Sane versus Roxanne Perez. We weren't happy with the finish. Your thoughts on this match? Anything?
Yeah, I didn't think these two actually gelled well, in my opinion.
So Jimmy's wrong.
I wasn't really into it, and I didn't like the finish either, man, to be fair.
Okay. All right. So, you can go back and watch how you were wrong. But neither here nor there. I'm just messing with you, Jimmy.
I know. It's all good, man.
All right. Fuck it. So Sami Zayn's being interviewed backstage. What's the name of the young lady that's doing the interviews backstage?
Wait, before you go on, I just want to also point out the fact that the WWE's actually been doing a pretty good job, with the vignettes for Kairi Sane. as far as in her comeback. So I thought that, at least they were doing that. Anyway, you can go ahead. Sorry.
I did like all the little vignettes they were doing throughout the show. I'm not going to discuss all of them, but the production value, and they're shorter and it gets a lot in. Like, I don't know who's doing that, but I like it, man. I don't know. Maybe it's Jimmy.
Yeah, the Sheamus and Rusev one was pretty good. I liked that Sheamus and Rusev one.
It's just really good shit.
That was
man.
good, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good shit. But speaking of good shit, again, what's the name of the young lady that interviews? That does interviews?
Redmond, Jackie Redmond.
There's Redmond and the other one. Yeah,
she's a little smoke show. Anyway, all right. So we get a recap of Sami Zayn. All right. So that Zayn gets interviewed backstage. His ribs are all taped up. He says that he's not managing. Anyway, he's just the girl's like, look, man, Karrion Kross might be around. Just watch your back. Scarlett Bordeaux rose up. I liked her bra, by the way, covered in spikes. And she's like, do you have anything to say? And she's like, nope. Anyway, back from commercial, we have American.
Do you think Scarlett was horny?
Get it? With the spikes on the tits? Anyway, back from commercial, American Maid and Adam Pearce are in the office investigating the whole, talking about the whole Americano thing. And basically, the fat one from American Made is like just fucking putting over the fact that it's a ruse. And the other people, his teammates are looking at him like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? But anyway, Adam Pearce lets the little pit bull know that Ivy now that she will be in a battle royal during Evolution. So that's a pop, I guess. And then like, Asuka and Kairi Sane then roll up and they start yelling in Japanese and they want to fight, and they're going to get their tag team match. The Kabuki Warriors are reunited. And then we get the Nikki Bella promo. Matt, I see you just contemplating the brilliance on the microphone cut by you could tell this is all done in one take. She is a fucking pro. Nikki Bella says she's coming. She's coming hard. She's gonna grind her way to the top again, and she's gonna win that battle royal. She's just gonna lay all over, just toss all those girls toss all those girls out of the ring, and get a championship match. Matt, your thoughts on the great Nikki Bella and that unbelievable promo? It's just earth-shattering shit.
It was the best thing we've seen on TV all night. She
all night, all year.
It was phenomenal. I was like, wow, those hosting and acting skills are probably really paying off. Like, you are getting amazingly better week after week. I love your enunciation and your tone, and I really like your speech pattern. It's so amazing that you really are just out there and just trying your best.
Rick, she says that she wants to show her son.
I want to show my son.
She wants to show her son who she was and who she is, and she wants to prove to her son that this is his father's fault that they're divorced now, and that if they didn't have their son, they'd probably still be married. And I don't think she said all that.
Whoa,
that's what she might have felt. I don't know, Rick. Your thoughts?
Well, most importantly, she is here to show the court system and the Bella Army that she is fearless and she can carry she can multitask. She can be a podcaster, a Dancing with the Star, a hot dog eating contest host, and a pro wrestler and a parent. For everybody out there flipping their shit over Goldberg and others coming back, hold on to it. Hold your asses tight, because she is going to go over in this battle royal and she is going to get a championship opportunity in Paris at the Clash at the Castle Paris.
Jimmy, you were born and raised in the mean streets of Paris. Your thoughts on your thoughts on the WWE's version of Paris?
Au revoir, monsieur. No, first of all, about Nikki Bella, man, she just needs to go away. Look, I understand. Look, it doesn't matter if I like her or not. At the end of the day, though, she has got a lot of fans, man. I've seen a lot of girls dress up as her and her sister, man. You know what I mean? Like, for real, there are a lot of them out there. There are a lot of women that do love her at the end of the day. Sorry, Rick?
There is a sad thing. A lot of the girls that got into wrestling is because they saw the Bellas. They saw Total.
It's true, man. I'm not even trying to troll. It's real.
But I do wonder again, is this another miss in how we're casting these characters? Because again, Nikki is one of those, just be Nikki Bella, be the bitch Bella that got you to the top there.
I agree. 100%.
I guess the question is, can you still look and not touch?
Wow. I guess you still can't touch. You can look, you can't touch though.
Well, I don't know. According to court documents, she does like to touch.
Hey.
She loves it.
Allegedly.
TNT keep on her asking which champion does Nikki challenge for. I think it's obvious she goes for Tiffany because again, we just have to have two people challenging for a belt that are completely unlikable.
That's a dream match, pal.
It's gonna happen, brother.
Two obnoxious bitches.
Hey, so oh my God, Jimmy's camera's gonna get taken out again. Just so you know, Jimmy's comments are expressed only by his own.
That's only by me.
I agree.
Quietly.
I'm just saying, you know. Sami Zayn makes his entrance to wrestle Bron Breakker, but my favorite guy, Karrion Kross, comes out and literally beats the living daylights out of him with a big pipe. I said to myself, this was great. Now, this is a little thing that I liked. And you're about, why are you focusing? It's the little things in life. So he attacks him with that big metal pipe, right? And he hit him hard with that thing. And I'm saying, is that a metal pipe? That's a plastic pipe. Until Pierce takes it out of his hand and tosses it, and you can hear it. Bing, 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 bing. You can hear the sound of the pipe thudding against the fucking. So it was a legit pipe. I don't know why that was interesting to me, but I thought it was a good thing. But Sami Zayn gets fucking decimated before his match with Bron Breakker.
This was the only match I didn't like.
Okay, we'll discuss that. But I wanted to talk about really quickly, very briefly, man, the fans, we want Cross. We want Cross. We want Cross. I'm going to go to Jimmy first. Jimmy, we know that you absolutely hate Karrion Kross. He's a friend of mine. And I will make this public to him, and I'll probably clip this up. Why do you hate Karrion Kross?
I've got access to Karrion Kross too. He follows me just quietly. So, no, I don't hate him. Just quietly.
I'm surprised you guys aren't going to lunch later.
Yeah.
we will. Don't you worry about that. We've got a lot of mutual friends, including Ray.
Red Roosters.
Red Rooster it is. He's been here, man, numerous occasions. Hey, don't laugh, Rick. Red Rooster's the shit. Just ask MSG. All right.
Is that like IHOP?
It's like their version of KFC.
No, it's not. Not really. Not really, though. It's not like KFC, though.
It's not because you can get a 1 1/4 chicken and fries for only $5.99.
Eat a dick, the whole lot of yous, all right? For fuck's sake. But anyway, Red Rooster rocks. I don't care what anyone says, but the best chicken place ever is Nando's, period. I'm telling you now. Anyway, what was the question again? That threw me off, man. What'd you ask me?
Why do you hate Karrion Kross?
I don't hate Karrion Kross. I'm a big fan of Karrion Kross, as a matter of fact. The fans seem to love Karrion Kross. I just don't understand what WWE is trying to do here in terms of all this teasing and it's all foreplay with Karrion Kross, man. Can't we see something meaningful with him? I want to see a proper promo in the middle of the ring with him, man. You know what I mean? And I know it's not him. It's not his fault. It's clearly WWE's fault. Why can't we see something in the ring, with him actually doing something meaningful, man? Other than all these backstage skits and him jumping Sami Zayn and whatnot. I want to see more, man.
Jimmy, on the international stream, did you not get the Karrion Kross promo?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay. Why?
Then what are you talking? I mean, he had like 2 minutes where he cut a promo.
Yeah, but 2 minutes.
And it was very on the point. Yeah, I didn't get it either, but I guess internationally.
Wait a minute. Why didn't you get it?
Well,
we had commercials and shit.
Commercials.
I do have some of the promo here.
Well, see, that sucks
let's take a look at it. Shut
man.
up.
Red Rooster.
That's old, man.
Monday, Tuesday, half price.
Half price at Red Rooster.
All right, so
Jesus Christ. That was like back in the 90s, bro.
Chicken and chips. Yeah.
Get a fucking like a new one at least, man.
I don't care if we get struck down for that one.
No, you won't.
I don't
Guaranteed.
give a shit. All right, so let's jump into the match real quick, boys. We got
that popped me up.
Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn, and all right, so Matt, you said You hated this match.
I didn't hate this match.
All right. Just real quickly, it was like 90-10. I mean, Bron Breakker destroyed Sami Zayn, and so he should have, because Sami Zayn was beat up. And I like the little hope spots here and there with the clothesline, and has Sami Zayn, who got just a tiny bit of offense. He did the whole 80s jobber thing, 80s enhancement talent thing, where he's getting beat up the whole match. And every once in a while, he'd hit a drop kick or something like that. He didn't. He hit, but Bron Breakker goes over clean, hitting him with the spear. We can discuss what happens post-match, where Sami's, you know what? Just talk about the match first. Matt, why did you think this was the worst match you've ever seen?
It wasn't the worst match that I've ever seen, okay? Well, and I didn't mind the finish.
Oh.
If we hadn't seen Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn about half a dozen times already. So it's like, I just don't need to see these two continue to wrestle over and over again. So like Bron Breakker should have been the one to take on Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn should have been the one to take on Bronson Reed. So that way when Bronson Reed smashes him and crushes him, then we don't see Sami Zayn for a little bit, because, he's like spread too thin right now with all these people attacking him. So like, it would only make more sense to like give us fresh new matchups versus just repeating the same matches that they've been doing for the last year.
All right, your thoughts on that one, Rick?
I agree there. To extent with it, I mean, what we got there. I think the point is that Bron's there to finish the job. Sure, these two have tangoed before. Sami's scored some big wins over Bron Breakker in the past. They did make the point that Bron hasn't lost a singles match since. They said when. I mean, it was an extended period of time. I think maybe since he lost like the Intercontinental Championship. But it's Bron finishing the job. I think it could have added something if we've already seen him eat so many spears. If he would have gone out there and taken a bunch of tsunamis, that would have put him on the shelf. I'm kind of curious. We talked about the fans getting behind Breakker. If he's going to make a turn, Sami's, they saw us as this beloved guy, but again, we're getting those chants from the crowd. One more, when he's out there just getting broken.
Yeah, it was great. It's great. But you know what else is great? Our sponsor. We're brought to you by Bell's Chicken.
Looks like Red Rooster, sort of.
That's the gimmick. That was the joke.
I was going to say.
Rooster.
Yeah, laugh about Red Rooster, guys. You will love it.
Jimmy, are you a Bell's Chicken person?
I'm a Red Rooster person.
He's a Red
Terry
Rooster.
Taylor's friggin' restaurant, bro. Come on.
All right, that's fair. But listen, let's be honest. You saw the Red Rooster commercial, right?
Hey, me.
Like, look at this
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, seriously.
Look at it, bro. Look at those wings, dude.
Plus, those are old pictures. You got to see their new stuff. Like
Yeah,
new
no, you know what's the
commercials.
best for real though? They're cheesy nuggets. Oh my god.
Cheesy nuggets.
All right,
yeah.
let's fuck. You're talking about cheesy
I
nuggets.
just see like an hour and a half of MSG just reading Australian commercials now.
Dude, he would last week, man. He was off the air. He was doing Mickey Mouse to me, man. I'm telling you, I was on the floor, man. I couldn't stop laughing. But anyway,
Yeah, he was doing Mickey Mouse for you.
oh no, that sounds bad now. Don't worry, we're playing Mickey and Minnie, all right, Ray? Yeah.
Oh God!
Look at MSG's face.
Listen, after the match, Sami Zayn is on the floor getting all beat up, and then we get Bron Breakker. Oh, don't forget, Bron Breakker did hit that crazy spear, during the match that really put Sami, that he pretty much botched because the camera cut out, and they were like, "Oh, we're not going to show that again."
He did have some explosive intensity.
There was a lot of explosive intensity. Anyway, yeah, bro, Adam Pearce. All right, so look, Sami Zayn is hurt. He got fucked up during this match. And we're going to later hear, I'm just going to say it right now, we're going to later hear that he's out indefinitely.
But what's the end game with Sami now? What are they doing?
You have to admit that he has the devil within.
He's the sympathy. He's getting the sympathy.
He's
man.
not gonna get the sympathy now, man. People are over it.
What's up, Brandon? Brandon's here. Speaking of juggalos.
Hey, whoop whoop.
Yeah.
And I want to point out one thing, guys, before we move on. I just want to welcome Hassan Terrell saying, "Hi there, guys. Teddy Long just passed away." It wasn't Teddy Long, by the way. It was his son that passed away.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah, Teddy Long.
Yeah.
Teddy Long did lose his son.
Damn.
So
Does he have another son? Is that his only son?
Don't know. I mean, Teddy Long was in fact a player, so he may have some children out there. But I'm sorry, I'm making light of a very sad thing. But yeah, man,
It's
rest
gonna
in
be a
peace.
tag team match. Sorry,
Oh,
I shouldn't do that either.
Jesus.
Shit.
But yeah, Teddy Long, the great Teddy Long, who blocked me on Twitter for no reason.
Really?
Yeah, like I've never even interacted with him. Apparently, he had some issues where his account was just blocking people, whoever was managing, and for some reason I got blocked. And I'm like, I love Teddy Long. I'm like one of the I've actually campaigned on having Teddy Long unblock me because I literally love Teddy Long. Like he's one of my favorite fucking
Free
people
Ray.
wrestlers.
Free Ray. Free Ray.
God damn it! Can somebody reach out to Teddy Long and ask him to unblock me, please?
Damn player.
I love Teddy Long, and
Might want to leave him alone right now. He's probably got some other things
Yeah.
to worry about.
you know what? That's not.
We're friggin' morbid cunts, man. I swear to God.
Let me see if it says just really quickly, it says Antoine Long, son of WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, has passed away. And I'm not going to get into specifics. There are some things being shared here, but rest in peace to the son of the great WWE Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, right? Teddy Long.
Absolutely.
Teddy Long. All right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh wow, Juggalo says last night JCW decided to air Lunacy on a Monday night, and then had an invasion from Garbage Championship Wrestling from GCW.
So AEW was there?
I don't think so. It was JCW invasion by.
You said
GCW.
Garbage Championship Wrestling. Anyway.
Well, you know.
I'm sorry, Hassan. You're not gonna like that one, buddy. Big fan, Hassan. Big fan of the AE Dubs. I heard Hassan is a huge fan of Darby Allin. Is that right?
I don't know, but go check out that wreckage.
Yeah, check out the wreckage with our. It's actually up on YouTube. It stayed there. So we had Hassan there. He is a comedian, and he's written many books, or he's writing. He wrote like 2 books, right? 2 or 3 books.
I have no idea, but if he did, that's
Good job,
Good for
Jimmy.
him.
Good job
Absolutely.
at co-hosting. Anyway, they explained the. Oh, sorry. So we go backstage. We have Adam Pearce chatting with the War Raiders,
Man.
and the War Raiders are just like very normal guys. They're like, "Hey, dude, like we like championship match and stuff." Anyway, I thought War Raiders would be like, "Arr, we want our war, and we want."
They're
our
not
tag."
Vikings anymore. They're just they're just
regular-
boys.
Just biker guys. All right. So anyway, those are the guys that got beat up. And what's the movie? Now You Can't Leave. Remember what movie is that? Goddamn, with Sonny, Bronx Tale. Remember the guys that go into the bar and stuff? He's Now You Can't Leave. And
You
anyway,
just can't leave.
the War
saw that
Raiders.
movie.
It's a great movie, by the way.
It is one of the best movies.
One of the
Recently,
best
yeah.
for sure.
Can I
Robert
just-
De Niro.
Can I secretly tell you something, guys? Between us,
Time Cop is your favorite movie?
shut up. The young lady in that movie, the African American girl,
In what movie? In the Bronx Tale?
Bronx Tale.
Right.
She's the reason why I grew up liking black girls for some reason.
Really?
And have you seen what she looks like today?
No.
Hubba motherfucking
No
Hubba.
way, dude. That movie's old, bro. How
Trust
old
me.
was she?
All right, you know what? Forget about it.
You gotta
We'll
show
move
it. You
on.
gotta show us.
Mine
I'm
was-
gonna
Now
get
I
you a
wanna
picture
know.
of her before the end of the show.
Mine was
Oh,
Halle
good,
Berry.
good.
Fine.
Yeah, okay.
Halle Berry and Monsters Ball.
Stop it. Stop. I
just
won't be
saying.
able to stand up. I'll knock over the monitor. So anyway, we have the New Day backstage.
What the hell was this, bro?
I don't know, but I laughed for some reason.
Well,
Their
did you
dress-
see the mid-commercial promo they did too?
Explain.
Well, they did a commercial where they came out to the audience. I guess this was during the commercial break, and they mourned the loss of the fact of their losing their tag team championships.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they were then backstage, that's what gave the War Raiders and the other guys the language to make fun of them. So, like, that's kind of why they were dressed in all black and were holding flowers.
Okay. All right. I'll
They got to
take it.
stop doing that, man. If they're going to just show that for the international audience, pretty much, they need to stop doing that because we're missing out.
Well,
Particularly
Netflix
you
wants
guys.
to charge you. Netflix wants to charge you
yeah.
extra. If you pay the
premium.
$24.99 version, then
That's
you
what I'm
can
paying,
get-
bro.
Then you can get the ad-free version of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. So really quickly, folks, I just wanted to take you over here before we're almost done with the show, but I just have to take you to Instagram and show you this fine piece of chocolate. This is the young lady from A Bronx Tale.
No way, bro.
Yes, way.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Damn.
Huh? Yeah. Damn is correct, folks. Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, look, that's her no makeup.
No, she's got makeup there.
Doesn't matter.
But that's impressive, definitely,
That's
dude.
what
I
she's
didn't
done.
expect that.
Yeah, told you. She's fine. She's
Yeah,
fine.
she's definitely fine.
Fine. Okay, so with that being said, folks,
The little kid at the end.
that was his son.
I know.
Or is it? So we get, let me see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Adam Pearce, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then, oh yeah, Becky Lynch comes in. She just mentioned Biggie sucks and he's not a good guy. She goes to the ring, and Becky Lynch cuts a promo saying that she's pissed off because she has to fight against two girls. And then Bayley comes out with her big bubbly ass, and then we have the other girl, the bird girl, comes out, and they all start chirping at each other. And then finally, long story short, folks, when shit hits the fan, we have bird girl hit Becky Lynch by mistake, and then she wanted to hit her anyway, but she kind of wanted to hit. They all start fighting. Are you guys looking forward to this three-way?
You know what? I wasn't before, but now I kind of am.
Why?
I thought this was a decent segment. I thought Becky Lynch did a good job cutting the promo, talking about how she was the man, boasting about all of her current accomplishments from movies and stuff like that. Yeah, and then I liked when Lyra and Bayley came out, and they were both chirping back and forth, and Becky Lynch was egging each other on, begging them on. You know what I mean? So I liked it. I don't know. It made me interested in the match, and I was like, oh, okay, now maybe I'll go out of my way to watch this triple threat for the IC title.
Well, Rick, have you heard?
The bird is the word.
Bird. Bird is the
Bird
word.
is
All
the
right,
word.
Sorry, all right, you got it. Very good, Jimmy. That was good.
I can do it. I can do birds a word.
Can we? Let me see what it says. Can we just send Lyra out to?
Yes,
passage?
yes. She needs to shut her mouth straight up and not talk ever again.
Rick Vickery, are you interested in this three-way match? Between these girls?
The only three-way I am interested in is the Skyline Chili I'll be having for lunch when we wrap up the show.
Skyline Chili.
This we got spaghetti, the Cincy style chili, God's chili and cheese on top. That's a Cincy
Damn.
three-way,
That's
baby.
nasty,
Best
That's
with
a
crackers.
sphincter ripper right there.
But-
I've
but-
never heard one.
But to the segment here, yeah, I did like Beck's out. She's talking about why does she have to face two losers? They both lost a match against each other last week.
She's not wrong.
All these other champions get to pick their opponents, but now she's being forced into this three. My only problem overall with Becky right now, and I think she has upped her game. You can tell the acting chops, those opportunities are paying off for her. Again, it's miscasting. People want to cheer Becky. People want to like her, even if she is goes back to the man role, where she's kind of that anti-hero, but it's still okay with the cheer. Then you go to Lyra. They are trying to push her down the fans' throats to get people to rally behind her. She just comes off as one of those people you do not want to like.
Yeah,
so it's miscasting again.
100%.
I will give it to her, though. I do like watching her in the ring. She can go bell to bell.
Sure,
It's
100%.
everything
It's
else
crazy,
that is
right?
so
'Cause
bad.
She's like really attractive and like really like good at wrestling, but unlikable.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's the coaching or whatever the case might be, and then they suddenly throw this kink in there. Well, I've been waiting to tell you this, but it was Becky that called me. Well, why didn't you reveal that information from the get-go? Why is it weeks later? And then you have this whole situation with Bayley just kind of stuck in the middle.
You didn't like the
Right.
line where Bayley said you raised your hand like a little bitch? You didn't like that?
No.
No, you didn't like
That
the
was
line.
tough. That was tough.
I have to rescue that title from two massive disappointments. That's when Valkyrie said
That was a
that.
good
You don't
one.
remember?
That was a good.
That was a good
Oh,
line because it's kind of
oh.
true.
She got burned, yo.
She got burned, bro.
Oh.
Burned.
Got burned, bro.
But Lyra does not know how to be a babyface, man.
Matt
Let's be
got
real,
that.
guys.
You
She
got that
does
right, Matt.
I
not.
got that.
She's
But
got no
I
clue.
guess talking about it though, I do like the in-ring styles. Triple threat's where one of them doesn't really have to. We don't have to rely on one person to really carry anything here. They can kind of take their turns hitting their spots. Probably going to be a pretty damn good match.
I'm real quick before you jump
That's what
in,
I'm
Jimmy. I agree with Aaron. I love Insane Becky. I can finally take her seriously. Like I love this weird, crazy, like fucking
Yeah.
obsessed, borderline psychopathic Becky Lynch that we got here, cutting some of the best promos any woman has cut in
Basically
wrestling
saying
this
what I
year.
just said. That's
with
fine.
her acting the way she is, and then when we know what we get from Seth freaking Rollins, these both just like over the top. They both dress like Elton John. They're so eccentric. They're about themselves and all this self-centeredness. I would like to see those personalities actually parenting together. Like, what the hell is poor Rue going through at home? But, like in a world where these two people are actually the personalities of Becky and Seth.
All right. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see where this goes.
She should be the female actually that joins this group if it's going to go too much longer.
No. They don't need
You
a
don't think
female.
so?
No,
I think it would be all right. If you want to put her with Seth.
No, I'm saying no to that 100%, because then whoever they challenge has to just arbitrarily get a female so they can counter to fight Becky in certain spots. It's stupid.
I mean,
Same reason they added Gargano's wife into the tag team division of
she's just
SmackDown so that they have
useless,
somebody to get beat up by Nikki Cross.
Yeah, well, she's just useless. She shouldn't even be in WWE personally.
All right, we're going to roll this along because we have a lot to go and I have very limited time. We have Rollins who says that he's proud of Bron, but Bron is kind of pissed off because Bron's like, dude, they're going to think that I did it because he got beat up by Karrion Kross. So I have a feeling Karrion Kross is going to get involved with this faction somehow. I don't know if Paul Heyman is going to bring him in, but there's something that's leading me into believing that people want this dude a lot, and I think he's going to be part of this faction. I don't know what it is.
See an alliance, like a hired gun at times, or just kind of doing each other's bidding.
Not only that, but I
cool.
think he will be part of that fucking faction. It's going to be like a deadly, a dangerous alliance. Remember, there were four members of that.
The new dangerous alliance, NDA, pal.
Main event, Jey Uso takes about 20 minutes to come to the ring. We got him versus Bronson Reed. And listen, I'll make this real short and sweet. Jey Uso wins by disqualification. Why? Well,
Because he got a chair chucked at him.
Well, not only a chair, but one of those fucking giant computer chairs thrown at his face.
Have a seat, buddy.
Yo, dude, that shit came out of nowhere, and it was hilarious, and I thought that was great. The referee calls for the disqualification, and then, of course, we get 2 tsunamis on Jey Uso. I thought, if you're going to really put Bronson Reed over here as killing Jey Uso, he's got to hit him with the 6. I would have had him hit him with 7. Because remember, he took Seth Rollins out with 6. You have him hit 7 and have him throw up the 7. 7 tsunamis.
Have old Heyman doing the counting for you.
Yes, there you go. Jimmy, go ahead.
But wait, we've got Saturday night's main event coming up, so it wouldn't make sense to do that because
So
then
you're
he's not
saving.
going to.
So you're saving.
Yeah, you got to
tsunamis.
save it because otherwise
Hashtag save.
he's
tsunamis.
just going to turn up Saturday like nothing happened, and that's worse. That will do worse damage for Bronson than it would for Jay. So I wouldn't have done it right now. If Jay wasn't in the match, sure, absolutely. But they should do that. But then he needs to go away for a little bit.
All right. Any thoughts, real quick, before we move on, Maddie?
Yeah, it was fun. It was good.
Okay, Matt.
I like the chair. I like the chair spot, and then the preceding tsunamis. You're right, because like if it took 6 to take out Seth, that means Jimmy Uso should be back next week, right?
It'd be fine in less than half the time. Do the
Yeah,
math.
exactly.
Anyway, back from commercial break, we get good point. We get LA Knight, who gets a promo on Seth Rollins saying, stuff. Yeah. We get a video package of Rhea Ripley looking fine as hell. And then finally, I've been waiting weeks for this shit, but we have a guy that I grew up watching. I mean, I remember as a young kid watching AAA wrestling, CMLL on Telemundo, the great Grande Americano.
Nice.
People, and I want to take this. Let's be real serious for a minute. This whole bullshit where that Grande Americano is Chad Gable, and now they're saying that he's fucking Ludwig Kaiser, all this bullshit. It is very clear. In Mexico, if you guys are not familiar with the lucha style, I've seen wrestlers that started off at 5'7" become 6'2". It's a certain training where they're able to stretch their bodies, and it's very complicated. If I explained it to you guys, you would be in the bathroom doing that to your gimmick, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So I can't do that, and then I don't want to be liable for explaining to you how you can make yourself bigger.
You'll get canceled. Jimmy's already been canceled 3 times. Today.
Like 3 times.
I can't
taken off
talk
the air.
anymore.
But man, what a legend. Grande Americano just showing us how he's done a clean flying headbutt for the win. Unbelievable. I mean, the moves, it was almost like it's weird. He was able to adopt his Mexican lucha style with like almost like a British style. I mean, it was wild. Rick,
You actually heard him talk tonight. You know, he had a German accent. It was crazy.
No, that was a dude. No,
That was a straight up Mexican accent, that one.
Multicultural.
there are parts of Mexico that were taken over by Germany in the early 1930s, and they have kind of like this weird Mexican Germanish accent.
They had that plans to kind of catapult themselves through Mexico to take over the United States.
Yes, and I will say this: I've heard Grande Americano this week speak more and more Spanish than he has in the last couple of weeks. Maybe he's feeling more comfortable. Rick, your thoughts on this match? Anything stuck out to you, buddy?
I really, really want to like this. I popped big time when we saw the introduction to Change. What a just evolution there, no pun intended there for El Grande. I love the comedy spot here. I love the mix-up. Something in the match really just didn't connect to me. You could tell that, maybe through the growing pains that growth spurt, that that El Grande is just trying to readjust to that Lucha Libre style.
Right.
But he was hitting all the
taller body.
Yeah, that larger frame, but he's hitting all the poses, and those look a little bit more spectacular, and the showmanship is absolutely there.
That's because he stretches his body. Come on.
I think he should have, really just buckled down and took care of business a lot sooner than he did. Maybe drug it out a little too much.
Okay. But he is wrestling Dragon Lee, who's a literal dragon.
A formidable foe there. You are correct there, Ray. So again, I am still on board. I am still rock and rolling that red, white, and blue with El Americano.
Matt, you're a huge fan of Grande Americano. I know you went back and watched.
Oh, we're still talking about this? Yeah. Grande Americano. It was fine. It was a good, decent match. I mean, I think I said this on a previous I Like It Raw that I thought that they were going to do this with Ludwig Kaiser. It was either on this show.
You actually did.
I think I mentioned it. So, I thought that this was the natural progression that they were going to go in. And, overall, it was a decent match. I'd give it like a C. It was fine.
Okay, Jimmy, I don't mean to kind of disparage what Matt's saying here, but what the fuck does Ludwig Kaiser have to do with this match?
I don't know what Ludwig Kaiser has to do with this match, but did you notice the fans didn't give a shit about Grande Americano?
You are wrong.
It was crickets, bro. Let's be real.
They loved. What are you talking about? This man changed lives in Mexico.
Well, I don't know about that because all I heard.
Ray? You know what, Ray? I would like with the Americano, because he is such a worldly figure, and America is that melting pot of bringing everyone together. So when WWE travels, I would like to see the representation in the physical transformation where he, if they're in Saudi, take on that tan, look like a local, mix it up a little bit in his look and his style.
Well, he's Americano.
What was that?
I don't know.
Did you hear him? I heard them too. They were crickets.
Listen, we go backstage. We got Penta and we got Paul Heyman. And I aforementioned that Paul Heyman said that Penta's the son of a hooker, which is wonderful.
She's the son of a hooker, man.
He throws up the gang signs and stuff, and Bron Breakker doesn't like that. Back from commercial break, we get a Stephanie Vaquer package, which I finished watching, if you know what I mean. Gunther makes his entrance, and then Gunther cuts a promo saying that he's going to beat up the old man. And guess what? The old man pulls up in a red vintage muscle car. I couldn't
going sideways too.
Yeah, I couldn't pinpoint what kind of car that was. I'm not a car guy. And he storms right to the ring, and then he goes to spear Gunther, but we don't get that because that's not good. That's not good wrestling. I had to mute Matt because I'm fucking losing my train of thought with him singing for some reason. And then basically he runs away from the spear. Now we got the main event of the evening: Penta versus Seth Rollins. And Jimmy, I'm gonna give this to you. I'm going to say, look, Seth Rollins wins with the blackout. This was a fucking awesome match, dude.
Absolutely. I enjoyed this.
Really excellent match between the boys. What you like about the match? We'll go around the horn. We'll go with Jimmy, then Rick, and then we'll go with MSG, and then we'll get ready to sign off.
Well, these two, I'm always going to look forward to a Seth Rollins versus Penta match, and I wasn't sure how they were going to match up, but man, these two had good chemistry. They both could go. It looked like Penta gave a bit of a knock to Seth on the forehead. You could see he was bleeding. Cut up there. No, I love this match, man. I can't give it any more praise than what I saw, man. I would definitely say this was the match of the night. I mean, 100%. I'm looking forward to them actually having a program. If they can keep going like that, by all means, let's have a program between these two.
What do you think, Rick?
Main event for me was a segment that we kind of glossed over there, and I am looking forward to this Saturday night when Goldberg, who absolutely everyone is loving, chanting his name coast to coast, goes out there and shocks the world and takes down Gunther.
This match was crazy at times. You know, there was like a lot of physicality. Rollins had some like welts on his back, and then there was like a cut above his eye. I like that there was the facial expressions by Paul Heyman here, as far as like the concern of disbelief, and then that buckle bomb to the Mexican Destroyer was pretty good.
That was a dope spot.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match. This is probably, as you guys said, match of the night. I'd give this one like an A.
Oh wow. We get.
But honestly, guys, you know what the match of the week was? Go do yourselves a favor. I can't believe I'm saying this. Go check out the Outrunners against FTR on Collision. I'm telling you, guys, that was a match. No lie.
Are you all right,
I'm not
Jimmy?
kidding. I'm fine. I'm being serious, man.
All right. So what was the Roadrunners versus who?
The The Outrunners against FTR.
Okay. All right. No, I mean, if you guys want to, waste your life with AEW, you can do that.
Ray, are you afraid of dying or afraid of living? You got to get in the Outrunner style, baby. Hey, you can just go over to the page right here. There's a clip of Ben breaking it down for you.
He was on the show too on that wreckage.
I don't see a clip here. What are you talking about? Is it here? I don't see it. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was I Like It Raw. I want to thank our panel of judges here for giving this a 10 out of 10, I guess. I don't know what it is. Maddie, what you got going on, buddy?
You can check out South Park Pod on all YouTube outlets. Brand new episodes drop every week on podcast format. We also do reactions, reviews, top takeaways. Check out at South Park Pod.
Nice. Rick, listen, man, good job with the hot dog eating contest. We got good old Joey Chestnut. That's right. But, well, don't do that again. I'm gonna clip that and put that shit on. I'll make a gif out of that one. But all jokes aside, son of a bitch. Dude, great job on that. I love the fact that you get to do that every year, and it's really fun. But I know you got a lot of other things going on your plate, brother. So why don't you put over your social media and tell us what you got going on?
What I got going on for us today is on my plate. I'm about to have a Skyline 3-way. Then for mid-lunch, I'm going to have a couple pork chops, and for dinner, lasagna.
The fuck is mid-lunch?
Oh, it's just something I invented just when I get hung up between lunch and dinner.
It's like fourth meal?
Yeah.
Like Taco Bell's fourth? Okay, I respect that. And where can they find you on social media?
Richard Bronson Vickery.
Yeah,
at RBV Media.
At the real RBV. Just Jimmy.
And RBV Eats. Come on. Well, you can find me at, of course, the PWC Network on the X and at DJ Mass Effects. And like subscribe right here at Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel, where, again, our numbers have been going up all across the board. Please continue sharing and subscribing and, of course, liking this very network because we won't disappoint. And that's enough of me.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. We got our shows, man. We got the wreckage that's up on channelattitude.com. Impact Attack. Don't forget the Smack Attack. The Monday Locker Room. Don't forget also the PWR. And they're off this week. But if you didn't get a chance, you can check out last week's show. And it is What If Sting jumped to the WWF in 1994. Very fun discussion. I don't know who made that thumbnail, but he must be talented and very well hung. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have affiliate shows like the A Show that was live yesterday. Or actually, they're going to be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out my good friend April. Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore. And, of course, the great Stevie Richards. And do not forget Wrestling with Rick Rogers. Yes, you can check him out as well here. Well, not here, but I'm just saying, like, if you're on YouTube, you can check them out there. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune in to the Next Level Wrestling Review tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with me and the Vet. And I'm probably not going to ask him, anything about the big fire or anything like that and the huge flames where he saved multiple lives and babies and children and puppies and cats and one kangaroo. It was incredible, ladies and gentlemen. The Vet is a hero. So go over to his Twitch channel. It's at Opinion Haver, and give him a lot of money and say thank you for being a hero vet. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another I Like It Raw, your Monday Night Raw review and news show. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, boys, for jumping in. Jimmy did have his internet issues, but look, we had two backup plans here. It's all good. It's fine. Shit just worked out, and I want to apologize. I want to apologize. I literally have no sleep, and I was so tired. So if I was cranky in the beginning, I'm still kind of cranky, but I'm less cranky because of you. Because of you guys. I love you. I want to make love to you through the camera. No, I didn't. That's weird. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yes, boy! Yeet! Boobies.
This is the Hustler Rip Rogers. Yeah, it's fucking me. Yeah, and listen to the fucking Hamin Media Group. That's Ben Hamin Media Group from Rip Rogers. Go get him and go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Thank you guys for jumping on because
we're still on.
Bro, no, we're not.
Here we are.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys. Jesus Christ. I hit the end.